have been tough ones for families both here and across the country. The loss of so many good jobs, the fraying of the social safety net, record levels of family debt and homelessness. We can do better, and the NDP can bring change. It's time to make the priority regular folks rather than the rich and the well-connected.
BC MP Peter Julian throwing his hat in the NDP leadership race this week. His announcement speech covered a lot of traditional ground for the left: inequality, promises of ending tuition fees, and opposition to pipelines. But is he the candidate to re-energize the party, or is there someone else waiting in the wings? We're back with round 3 of Sunday Scrum. Susan Riley, John Ibbotson in Ottawa, Marty Patriquin in Montreal. By the way, John, you'll love this. Somebody tweeted, "You have real Liberal panelists." Whoa.
Always warms my heart.
Luckily, was it capital L or little L?
I'm going to have to say something pro-Trump.
Oh, we're all Liberals. Okay, good.
Okay, all right. There's your challenge. And we're going to be talking about the NDP. So what do you think? Peter Julian, is he the guy to lead this party?
Well, at first glance, you'd think no, because he's kind of been there, done that. Same with Charlie Angus, who's also contemplating a run at the leadership. But I say that with some hesitation, because Rona Ambrose was a very lackluster backbencher during, or cabinet minister as well, during the Harper era, and she's emerged as a very adept leader of the interim leader of the Conservative opposition. So who knows? You know, sometime in the glare of publicity and given some chance to debate and make themselves known, people who you might have discounted turn out to be better than you thought. That being said, the ticket to success for the NDP in the past has been importing an outsider. They did it first with Jack Layton and you know, improved enormously, and secondly with Thomas Mulcair, whom they imported from Quebec politics. So if I was a party member, I'd be looking around. I'd be looking outside of the immediate cast.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, the party divides into two groups. One group believes that the NDP should be the party of social protest, the conscience of the nation. It might not necessarily ever form government, at least at the federal level, but it will always be virtuous. And I think Charlie Angus and Peter Julian probably fit, roughly speaking, on that side of the party. There's another wing of the party that says the NDP should form government. And that was the wing that brought Jack Layton in. And by the way, hugely successfully took the NDP to official opposition status. That was the wing of the party that rallied behind Tom Mulcair, who, by the way, if people forget, was tied for the lead when the election began in 2015.
Yeah.
He could just as easily have been Prime Minister as Justin Trudeau.
And what was the issue that took him down?
Well, it was the question of the court, as a matter of fact, and the question of immigration and the NACAB.
Yeah.
But there is a candidate who that wing of the party is fascinated by, Jagmeet Singh, who is an MPP, a provincial member of parliament in Mississauga. He is young. He is really, really good looking. He is charismatic.
I think, yeah.
He wears designer suits. In fact, he designs his own suits, but he was a criminal defense lawyer before he got into politics. He is hip, he is cool, and he has the Liberals terrified. And I know that he has them terrified because years ago I talked to people about how worried they were that someone like Singh could bleed off immigrant voters in Mississauga and Brandon and the other big 905 ridings.
Which they depend on.
And so you have a whole lot of NDP people right now who are trying to get Singh to agree to run at the federal level, because he's still toying with the idea of staying at the provincial level, who think that he could be the next big thing.
Have we had somebody of color in that leadership position in this country? I'm trying to think.
No, he would be the first turbaned Sikh to be a leader of a political party in Canada, I believe.
I think another. Sorry.
The interesting thing for me, beyond all this, is the dearth of candidates at the NDP right now. It's not a coincidence. There's very few there's basically just one with the NDP. And what are we, Baker's dozen now with the Conservatives? I had 13, 14, 20. I think the reason there is the Conservatives are invigorated in the sense that they realize that they can retake power. The Liberal government is much more of a threat to the NDP than they are to the Conservatives, especially with Justin Trudeau torquing fairly left during the election. So I think that's the reason why you don't see a ton of people in here. I think there's a realization that the next person that's going to be the leader of the NDP, if it isn't a superstar like Mr. Singh, it's going to be a really, really tough slog. And I just frankly think that a lot of NDP people don't want to do it.
And what's going to be? Go ahead, Susan. But I'll ask you to also consider in your answers, what do you think the platform's going to be? Where are they going to get a platform?
I was just going to say, quite apart from getting an attractive leader, and I do think they need a leader from the new generation. If they're to get in, if I was on the recruiting committee, I'd see if Wab Kanu, the NDP member in Winnipeg, if he was interested too. Interesting guy, very articulate, interesting guy. But anyway, they have to get a spine. They have to get a backbone. And I think they totally lost that in their effort to kind of please everybody, and they were outflanked on the left by Justin Trudeau. They've got to be clear about what pipelines they're opposed to, or are they opposed to pipelines. They've got to be a lot clearer on a lot of traditional issues that they have become, especially under Mulcair since he was humiliated in Edmonton, really oppositional. All they do is complain. They never explain. They've got to stop doing that. It's a huge turnoff.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have this week. I want to thank you. It's been an excellent panel, as usual. Freelance columnist Susan Riley, John Ibbotson of the Globe and Mail, and freelance columnist Marty Patrickman. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you. At any time, if you want to join the conversation, tweet me at Carol McNeil. Just remember to use the hashtag #SundayScrum. And remember, you can catch up with the Sunday Scrum online. Simply head to CBCNews.ca and find the politics page. You're watching CBC News.